Waking up every day at 5 a.m. just to read more books. What am I getting myself into? Welcome. It is so horrendously early. I don't know whether I'm crazy or stupid or both. I want to showcase how it's possible to read more books by waking up earlier. That sounds silly, I know. And some of you are going to come after me in the comments for that, but I can't control that. I set a goal at the beginning of the year to read 25 specific books. Use this as a reference for the foreseeable future. So I made this list of 25 books that I want to read in 2025. And I actually am trying to make a serious attempt here at finishing those books. That's why a video like this exists. And I think I have the perfect book to start us off. A Fig for All the Devils by C.S. Fritz. This is the book that's probably been on my want to read TBR for the longest. And now that I have it in my possession, I really have no excuse. 231 pages. I probably, if I put my mind to it, I could probably do this today. Especially waking up at 5 o'clock. I have all the time in the world, don't I? I will tell you about this book as I go, because at the moment, I can't use my brain. So, buckle up. Enjoy the ride. Here we go. A Fig for All the Devils, baby. Jeez. So I just read the author's note at the beginning. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. The author says, I have butchered up my past and taken those bloody slabs, turning them into a fig for all the devils. The abuse you will read about happened. These characters, every single one of them, are dramatized clones from the real versions who played a part in my reality. This is my story, and because of that, I get to change it, adding things I wished would have happened and things that I wished wouldn't have. I didn't know what I was in store for and what would become true later in life. Reader, I give this small note to only give a greater understanding as to what you're about to read. It's all too real for me. In so many ways, this story is like the movies I watched as a child. Darkness enters an unsuspecting life, and through chaotic and miraculous events, the protagonist overcomes and comes into the light. My hope is, as you read this, you too will know that shadows exist because light is breaking in. What the heck kind of prologue was that? That was one of the craziest 4 pages I think I've ever read. I think it's too early to make my imagination see images like that. Whoa! And then it says this. Wow. You can't see that, can you? I don't even know why I try sometimes. It's 6:45 in the morning. So I've been reading for about an hour and a half, give or take. Yeah, brother. Not slow at all. This is so fast. I'm on page 64. Pretty slick. This book is, just look. Look at the dimensions of this book. It's not, I could do this today. It's not going to take me a week to read this book. Not at all. With how big the text is, what? Yeah, I got this in the bag. But what is this book about, right? Okay. Ian, formulate proper speech. At its essence, this book is a horror novel. Hence the lovely Grim Reaper on the cover. The prologue, well, I'm not going to give away the prologue because if you're going to read this book, you'll find out. But jeez. At the beginning of this book, we meet Sonny. And he has just faced the loss of his father. We find him in a hospital morgue. He's 13 years old, so he's trying to come to terms with what this means. He's trying to grieve properly, but he doesn't know how to do that. And he doesn't have the greatest relationship with his mom, and that is putting it lightly. Essentially, his mom despises his existence. Sonny is just trying to find purpose in life, and so he's completely lost. His entire life has been uprooted. He has no idea how to navigate this tumultuous time. With all of this happening, death comes to him, giving him a proposal. Every 1,000 years, the current caretaker of death passes on the mantle to somebody else. And well, the Grim Reaper has chosen Sunny as that person to take up the mantle to become death for the next 1,000 years. Well, Sunny doesn't know how to take this, which any reasonable person wouldn't know how to take that either. I will say this book has so much humor to it. At the core of this feels like a coming of age story gone wrong. I woke up at 5, so do I keep going? Like, this isn't a 24-hour challenge. It's not like I'm like racing against time. I've already read more than I probably would have read of this today. I'm gonna go with the flow by the seat of my pants, which is a staple on this channel. Like and subscribe if you want more of that. Oh, this day just got so much better. Let me tell you how. Today's sponsor, Hungryroot. Hungryroot is a meal kit and grocery delivery service that provides healthy food, recipes, and even meal planning. Hungryroot really is the easiest way to eat healthy. They're like a personal shopper and a nutritionist all wrapped up in one. They take care of absolutely everything so you don't have to. Shall we see what's inside? It never ceases to amaze me. It's very simple. All you have to do is tell Hungryroot your dietary preferences, and they get everything put together. And they'll also fill out your cart with personalized recommendations. And the mind-blowing part is that every single one of these recipes that comes inside this box can be made in under 15 minutes. You're 100% guaranteed by Hungryroot to have no junk ingredients, artificial flavors, or nasty preservatives. Top quality is guaranteed every single time. Hungryroot has honestly been a game changer for my wife and I. If you didn't know, my dear sweet wife has something that's known as an autoimmune disease, which means she has certain dietary restrictions. And with that has come the struggle of trying to find something that she can eat while also enjoy. And with Hungryroot, they made it so incredibly easy to fit every single dietary parameter and restriction to a T. And with all of this combined, it's become the healthiest possible option that we found in any grocery delivery service. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box and one free item in every box for life when you click the link down below in the description, or just head on over to hungryroot.com and use the code Gubeli to take advantage of this sweet, sweet deal. Thank you so much again to Hungryroot for sponsoring today's video. Guess how to get back to reading. Well, I finished. I don't know how to rate a book like this. It has like everything. It's whimsical, it's scary, it's hilarious, it's heartwarming, it's heartbreaking, it's epic, it's thrilling, and I think above all, it's profound. It's technically 231 pages, but there are pages and chapters that are only one word, and some of them are like a couple of sentences. Some of them are a quote from a poet, an author, a movie, a song. So really, this book can be whittled down to like 150 pages. It's like a short story, and it's phenomenal. There was a twist. Well, there's twists throughout the entire novel, but there was a twist right at the end that had my freaking jaw on the floor, and I couldn't help but think, wow. It's a story about a young man, but it feels so old. This 13-year-old boy has to go through so much so early. My goodness, a book about grief and loss, but love. There were so many biblical references that were like actually true. Right when we meet death, he drops a truth bomb on Sunny like I've never seen talked about before in a book. Sunny says, wait, what am I doing? The boy shouted. You were there. I can't believe this. Why in the world would I listen to you? You're the Grim Reaper. You're the epitome of darkness. You're Darth Vader, Mike Myers, Jason Voorhees. You're evil. And the Reaper responds with, evil? You're wrong, Sunny. Would you call the blade and surgery evil even though it cuts away the disease? Would you call lightning evil even though it brings with it the rain to feed your crops? Sunny, I'm not evil. I am the reaction to your world's evil. I exist because your sins exist. Mind-blowing to find in a book like this, let alone a horror novel. I think this is a 5-star book. I have this feeling in my gut that I can't ignore. This is a 5-star book, and we read it in an entire day. Video's over. See you later. Mission accomplished. I'm actually kidding. We have so much more to try to read. We have 6 more days of this. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Good morning again. Second day of this, and I'm already exhausted. We've read one book, and that book was a smash hit. Couldn't be happier. Picking from what's left of the 25 books I want to read in 25, because those are the priority, I've picked up something that a lot of people have been wanting me to read for quite some time. And that is the Liveship Trader trilogy by Robin Hobb herself. Ship of Magic, the first book. It's good to be getting back into Robin Hobb. She is a stellar author, man. I'm kind of back on my fantasy kick, if you couldn't tell. So we're going to be experiencing some great fantasy together, and I couldn't be more ecstatic about that. Guys, I fell asleep this morning. I'm not talking like a little cat nap. I passed out. I woke up at 5, like I'm supposed to. I read like 12 pages, and then the next thing I know, it's 2 hours later, and the sun's up. Waking up at 5 is not something I do on the daily, so I am a pretty good chunk of the way through this thing already. I'm on page 115. She just has the most beautiful and elegant prose of truly any fantasy author out there. She is just so spectacular at putting words on paper. And the thing about Robin Hobb immediately that you'll notice if you're new to her works is that she's slow burn. I think I've been introduced to every main character already. It's a wildly imaginative world. I mean, if you're any fan of just reading about pirates and ships and that sort of thing, simultaneously it is slow burn because this is the first book in a new trilogy. What I like about her world building is that she has this really beautiful balance between expository narration, and she blends that beautifully with character world building. She is a bit wordy, but you know, I forgive her. She just writes stellar books. 100+ pages in. Honestly, it did not take me that long. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and I'm sitting here also trying to edit a video for this upcoming Saturday, but I'm trying to read in between this routine, and that's what the whole point of this challenge is for, right? I want to read a lot of these books on my TBR, but I feel like I don't have the time. And so waking up at 5 a.m., I'm wanting to see if I can get a lot read. And honestly, I've read more in the past 2 days than I think I have in the past 2 weeks. And I mean, already I'm 114 pages into Ship of Magic, and I started it this morning. This book is 830 pages. At the pace that I'm going, I'll probably read another close to 100 pages today. I could get this done in 3 or 4 days and then still have 2 more days to spare. Like I might start waking up at 5 a.m. every day. No, just kidding. That sounds horrible. I'm enjoying this so far. You know, this is not for the faint of heart. This is almost like a reverse of doing things in 24 hours. So I am losing sleep because I'm a madman and don't care about my mental health. But at the same time, I'm not just wasting it doing something unimportant or unfulfilling, right? I'm doing what I love. But like I said, we have the whole rest of our day today. So I need to edit this video, and I'll catch up with you later. Cheers. Good morning. Oh my goodness. What is this, day 3? We're getting there. We're almost halfway. Yesterday. That's what I did yesterday. Made it to page 200. So I've been on average reading about 200 pages a day, which is so funny because this is not a 200 pages a day for a week video. This book has some very complex character relationships. I mean, every single character besides 2 have a connection to each other. And most of them belong to this enterprise family, this old trader family. Their house is kind of a little bit fallen. They've had a rough past 5 years, and now the patriarch of the family has died. Each member of this family has their own designs and motives, and it seems like none of them want the same thing. Like there are practical solutions, and then there's a lot of selfishness going on. But all of these characters are interconnected through this family, whether they were friends with the deceased patriarch or their family, or they married into this family. It's very complex. I don't think this is going to be set up the entire book like Farseer with Assassin's Apprentice, where the majority of that book was just Fitz walking around and talking to people. There's actually stuff going on. So I'm really having fun with the day 3. With the way everything's shaping up, I should be able to just get to like halfway through this book. All right, folks. If I look sweaty and I sound out of breath, it's because I just lugged something very heavy. Well, not up some stairs, but in the elevator. But getting into the elevator was pretty crazy. I did read a lot this morning. Woke up at 5. Again, took a very long nap. This is a harder challenge than it looks. I made a little bit more headway. And I'm starting to really see how every single one of these characters completely sucks. I have the headphones on because I'm jamming out to the audiobook. Yes, I am listening to the audiobook. For anyone who's going to ask me in the comments, Ian, do you have your headphones on? What are you listening to? The audiobook. I have some stuff I need to do. Some home decor stuff I got to build. Yet another... No, it's not a bookcase. It's a TV stand, but it also is a bookcase at the same time. Also have a puzzle I need to help my wife build. If you're interested in why she's building a puzzle, go to her channel. Let's read a book. What is this? After having lived here for over 2 months, Ashlynn and I finally have our TV. Wow. In the meantime, we read another 100 pages. So we're sitting pretty at 300 pages. We read 100 solid pages today. The goal is to get halfway through this book today, which means I have to read another 115 pages. And it's past 6 o'clock. Never mind. It's almost 7. Wow. I guess I'm just screwed. In the meantime, I've been needing to read other books for other videos. I'm starting a new challenge today that won't even come out until at least June. And I haven't even started reading that today. So I might have to get no sleep tonight and just stay up and do what I got to do and then wake up again tomorrow at 5 o'clock and cry until this is all over. And maybe one day I'll wake up and this will just feel like a dream. Tell me why I'm doing this again. Oh my gosh. Good morning. One and all. Welcome to day 4. Made it halfway. Freaking did it. Made it to page 420. Oh. Waking up earlier has absolutely aided in my ability to read more books. Maybe more of books. Instead of just more books. Giving me 2, sometimes 3 extra hours in a day has been wonderful. Especially when you actually do something with the time. I feel like a lot of us, and I've been sorely tempted, would take this time to just rot on our phones or just lay down somewhere and sleep again. But I've really tried to commit. I've really, truly tried to commit. And proof's in the pudding. I could probably read another good half of whatever we have left today. And then finish this sucker on the 5th day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, which would leave me 2 days to see if I could get another book under my belt or get at least very far. Updates on the thoughts of the book. I'm just so impressed with her world building. I think that's the one thing with Miss Hobbs that her world building is my favorite part of her books. I'm a character-driven reader. I like to read character-driven stories, and not to say that she doesn't drive her stories with her characters. Her characters are the main reason anything happens. Her characters are so well done, but in this, I find myself more intrigued by her ability to craft such a unique nautical story where the ships aren't just ships, where pirates aren't just pirates, and where the relationship between all of these things are so unique and driven by so many different things. And then on top of that, how this world is also connected to the world of the 6 duchies in the Farseer trilogy, and how that's mentioned, and how the Rainwilds are mentioned, and how Elderlings are mentioned. Oh, it's so good. It's so fascinating. She's such a craftsman when it comes to world building. It's insane. She's just marvelous. We have 410 pages left, which means I need to read 205 pages today. Oh, gosh. Gosh, that's such a big chunk. We're doing this stuff. It is possible. It's tiring, but it's possible. What? I'm not playing Pokemon on my phone. All right. I'm playing Pokemon on my phone. I'm addicted, okay? I'm addicted. You're right. You're right. I need to get back to reading. Friends, family, intimate reading associates, hi. Here we are at the end of another evening. And here I am, coming to give you yet another evening update. It's going pretty well. I'm sitting at 6:32. I could stop for the evening, but I'm really invested into this book right now. I'm so invested. I don't know, the first half of this book was a drag, but that was to be expected. It's a lot of world building. I mean, that's series in general. She introduced me to the characters, she introduced me to their aspirations and what they all want, and their motivations and their goals, and she introduced this complex web of character relationships. Well, all of that has blossomed or withered as we have gone along. Once I hit like halfway, honestly, this morning, I realized, dang, this book's actually pretty good. And I've been eating up the second half. But I knew that she would reward me. It always pays off to finish a Robin Hobb book. I just had to let her cook. You know what I'm saying? And she's cooking. And it's only like 7:30 at night. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fine. Let's get back to the magic. Gosh, am I blind? Like, what the heck? I'm straining my eyes with reading too much. Hi, it is day 5, and yes, I just woke up. This feels like a freaking 24-hour challenge. This is so bad. I feel like I've gotten no sleep. Just means I'm gonna take a nap later today. Call me a failure. Yep. It's a Saturday, so it's like if there was any day I was going to sleep in, it was going to be this one. So that means I haven't touched this all morning. I mean, it's 6:49, so I still woke up before 7 o'clock. The sun's actually not even risen yet. It's still dawn. I made it to page 698. That is insane. In 3 days. I think I'm going to finish that sucker today, this morning. And then I don't know what I'm going to read. That's my problem, though, not yours. Let's get back to reading, and I will, let's freaking do it. We're done. Took me 3 hours, but I finished Ship of Magic. Second half made up for it. Second half made up for what that first half severely lacked, which was a plot. Look who it is. Well, hi. Hi, buddy. I think he likes me. But the second half of this book, pirates, sea serpents, magical ships, whoa, it had everything. Her world building is astounding. I'm so impressed. This was stellar. 4.25, a strong beginning to what I think is going to be quite a phenomenal trilogy. But folks, it is day 5, and we have the whole rest of the day before us. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. So we are going to probably pick our last and final book of the challenge, which I don't think I'm going to pull from the 25 books that I want to read in 2025, as I've been trying to do in this video. I'm going to pick something just for me. And that book is Christine by Stephen King. It's been a long time since I've read a Stephen King book. For those of you who are new to the channel, Stephen King is my favorite author of all time, and last year I made so much freaking Stephen King content because I was in a rush to try to read at least 20 of his novels last year. I have been neglecting him this year, so I want to get back to his works. I want to rekindle that relationship we once had because, oh boy, I've missed this man's writing, I've missed this man's stories, and Christine is calling me from the bookshelves. So without further ado, let's read some good Stephen King. What's going on, folks? So, Ashlyn and I, we just went on a walk. It's been a couple of hours since I said I was going to read this book. This is where I'm at. Not that bad. In fact, that's nothing, because I think this book as well. What have I done to myself? This book is 749 pages. Why is every single book that I ever want to read in my entire life over 600 pages? Every single time. I don't understand it. Please, down in the comments, give me short book recommendations. I need to lighten the load sometimes. So, if you have anything, we are 57 pages deep into this book. I mean, already from the start, this book is so good. I know people get so mad at booktubers saying, why do you say every book is just so good? It's because it's Stephen King and that's the only thing I can come up with at the time. It's just so good. Get over it. This book is about a car. Well, actually, it's more about Arnie Cunningham. Told from the first-person perspective of Arnie's best friend, Dennis. They are walking along the street one day after work. Arnie sees this beat-up old Plymouth in some dude's driveway, immediately falls in love with the car, on an impulse buys the car, and their lives are changed forever. Let's just say he's 17 years old, his parents are not happy that he bought a car, but already his best friend Dennis, he notices that this car is already changing his best friend. His friend is doing things and saying things and acting in ways that he normally wouldn't. He's usually a docile, shy, quiet person. But now he's flipping people the bird, calling people bad things, and he's getting into fights with his parents. Never happened before. First person narrative, Stephen King is without a shadow of a doubt my favorite first person. And what's interesting is every single time I read a first person story from him, it's always with a different voice. Every single one. Stephen King manages to somehow make every single first-person narrative voice completely different from the next. He blows my mind every time. A lot of people say that this is their favorite Stephen King book, so I'm excited to see where it goes. It's off to a fantastic start. That's how I talk to my dog. He loves it. His tail's wagging. You're a sweet boy, aren't you? Yeah, go lay down. I don't know why I ever stopped reading Stephen King. I couldn't tell you why I take breaks. I think I take breaks subconsciously because I think you all would get bored of me reading Stephen King. I don't know if that's the case. I just think that's me getting in my mental headspace and convincing myself that you guys wouldn't care. I don't know why I ever stop. He makes the most readable books. I haven't read that much today. 1:59 and I started this book. Started at noon and I think it's 7 right now. We just had dinner and I haven't been constantly reading. I blitz through at least 50 to 60 pages of this book every single time I sit down to read it. Oh my gosh. He's just a freaking prose maniac. I love his writing style in every single book. He somehow makes it unique, and every single prose in each book is slightly different than the other, which makes it all very genuine and authentic, but at the same time, it's 100% always Stephen King, and you can tell. The thing about Christine that I'm freaking loving right now is that he's not doing any of this crazy world building because his story is about an evil car. What he's doing is the world building is fleshing out this car. He's narrowed the vision of the world building to an object. From there, he's crafting this chilling story that's unfolding before my very freaking eyes. I get the point. I see why people love this freaking book. It's enthralling, that's for sure. I'm so excited to not wake up at 5 tomorrow. It's been totally worth it because I'm halfway through freaking Christine. I ate this book up. We're halfway through. We're on page 377. I don't know what Christine is. I don't know what she is, but she's evil and scary. I mean, I really am blown away. I don't know why I thought I wasn't going to be. It's Stephen King. He always blows me away. This is certainly a tragic love triangle. Lee and Arnie, Arnie and Christine, Christine and Lee. It's just two ladies wanting the same man, being jealous of one another. Except one's a car and the other's supposedly a pretty girl. The battery just died on me mid-sentence. Suffice it enough to say, this book is really good. Let's keep it going. We just have this one day left to finish this entire book. And we have like 370-something pages to read. If we could do that with Robin Hobb, we can definitely do that with Stephen King. Friends, family, and intimate reading associates, would you believe it that we are on the last day, and I've done this to you yet again, where you get maybe a brief clip of montage, a little bit of commentary update in the morning, and then I ghost you all day until late at night. It is 10:21 in the evening of the final day of this challenge, and we're not done. We're close, but we're not done. We're on page 565. 565 of 479, and we essentially almost have 200 pages left. Oh! So, you know what that means? I'm going to stay up, and we're going to see how far I can get in an hour and a half. Let's make the most of it. I'm so glad you've stuck with me this long. At least I hope you've stuck with me. You know what I'm trying to say. Cue the montage. Friends, family, and intimate reading associates, we finished Christine. Not on the last day. No, we're freaking close. I think something I had about 60 or so pages left, something like that. It's been like a week and a half since I last spoke to you. Christine. Blown away. This has to be the most consistent Stephen King book ever written. This was always about Christine, always about Arnie, always about Dennis, and everything was just so freaking consistent, and the tension just built the entire time, all the way through. Spectacular. Some of his best characters, some of his best suspense moments, some of his best thriller, horror moments, and the fact that it's all about a freaking car just shows that he can write about anything. He really can. My gosh, I freaking love this author. I love this man so much. Everybody needs to pick up a Stephen King book. If you are interested at all, go to the playlist in this channel. Everything that I've made about Stephen King is there. Just go and binge it. You'll love it. And if you don't walk away a Stephen King fan, then I've not done my job correctly. This is a 4.5. 100%. This is a 4.5 out of 5. And I couldn't be happier with that. That's all she wrote. What an excellent journey this has been. You know, waking up at 5 a.m. to read more books was a more intimidating activity than I thought. But once I started doing it, I noticed I really, really enjoyed it. Now, does that mean I want to wake up at 5 a.m. every day? Absolutely freaking not. I did notice how much more productive I was. I did notice how much more I got read. Having an extra 2-3 hours in the morning sometimes really made all the difference in the day because I wasn't always reading in the midday or even in the late afternoon. But this was so totally worth it, and I thank you all so much for being here. I also like to give another shout out to today's sponsor, Hungryroot. Again, if you're interested in Hungryroot at all, head on over to hungryroot.com and use the code IanGubeli to get 40% off your first box and 1 free item in every order for life. Just click the link down below in the description. But that's all we got, folks. I will see you all in the next one.